today, John, what I know we want to talk about is we want to start going into the post-William Branham history of the message. In our last episodes we recorded on historical research, which was, I think it was about 18 months ago when we recorded that. It's been that long since we've been regularly recording, and we did a long message history series starting from really the birth of William Branham all the way up into his funeral. So we covered decades of message history as we did that. And today we want to start talking about the years that came after William Branham died. Where I have been working on, John, a book, Volume 2 of Message History. Come Out Over My People, Volume 2. It'll hopefully be out and available by the time we get this episode out. I'm still working on some final tweaks to it to make everything happy for myself. But anyway, once it's out, it's covering the year 1966 to 2005. Those are the years in it, John. And so I would love to just kind of dive through some of the stuff that's in there.
These are, I call them the pillar churches. Whenever William Branham died, the whole cult was imploding. And if not for these pillars lifting him back up, lifting up the dead guy to worship, it just would have imploded and you would never have heard the name Branham again. By and large, I think the charismatic movement was trying to distance themselves from Branham, but because of these pillar churches, they were quite unable to do so because his name just kept going and going. And as long as his name was going, they couldn't stop it.
If you go into Oregon, there was a church in Oregon, John. It was Orlando Walker's. He's the man who had, I believe, We'll Ride This Trail Again vision, right? So That's Orlando Walker. Orlando Walker's son was Gerald Lee Walker, okay, who was Sarah Branham's lawyer when they sued all the message people. Their church ended up going with Kenneth Hagin into the Word of Faith movement in the 1980s. And yeah, Kenneth Hagin was coming around all our churches too. I know they all like to pretend none of this stuff happened. But Kenneth Hagin, he ended up siding with Kenneth Hagin when some of those splits happened in the 80s. But we'll talk through that later.